Hello, soil lovers. Wow, it's been a while since I've said that. Wanted to just get on here and give a little bit of an update on what's been happening with me. Not really for your sake, but more for my sake. I feel like I would like a little platform where I can unpack this little journey that I am going through. So, the short of it is I quit my job, and today is my first day in my new era, which we're calling my career pause, my realignment. And so, yeah, for those who don't know, the last few years, I kind of shaky camera. I kind of left the soil space and went in back to the digital marketing space, and yeah, that's been about 2 years now. And during that time, I've just done a lot of personal development. One of the main things being this NLP program, this embodied program with my mentor, Amy Bell. And it's for the, there's no words to describe what's kind of been happening over the last few months, but it's quite transformational. And so having this new view on who I am and how I want to show up and what gets me really excited and showing up for the world, it was and is definitely being in the earth caring space, being a lot more connected with nature, being a lot more in the rhythm of how soil and water and carbon and seasons work. And with the increase of AI that's happening in every corner of the earth, it really made me kind of check in and see what is really happening, where do I want to go, who do I want to wake up and serve every single day. And when I reflect on it, I loved waking up and serving soil, knowing that soil was then helping the nature world and the plants and the bugs and the food and then the humans and the gut health. It just felt like a very good thing to focus on that has huge amounts of impact. So I've also moved out of the city, so I'm no longer in Richmond. I have moved into more of a nature property. I'm here on the land at the moment. There is a sunset kind of happening behind me. But yeah, I went for a little walk and was watching the sunset and felt like I really wanted to maybe document this journey. So, I'm calling this day one of career pause, and not really having, normally I have a real big plan of what I'm doing, what are the next steps. And this is the first time where I've felt really compelled to just sit with the void and the space. I've got rough plans. I know that the earth caring soil world has a really strong pull in my soul and a spot in my heart. And I've booked myself in to do the permaculture course with David Holgram in Daylesford in a couple of weeks' time. So if you're doing the March 15-day fully immersive, that's one thing I've really learned, is that I really learn better when I'm immersed into the learning. The same with the NLP, the embodied NLP work that I've been doing. It's in the classrooms, it's doing the exercise, it's 22 days of classroom over 5 months. It's you get a taste, you get to go practice, you get another update, you go practice, you go get to make a mess of it, you get coaching, you get mentoring. And it's really how life should be done. It's kind of like when we work with nature, we plant something, it doesn't work, we change the conditions, and then all of a sudden seeds germinate that have been dormant for years. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened to me, is that I was just in the wrong environment, and then as I came into the right environment and was around quite supportive energy and quite supportive values and beliefs and morals, it really just struck a chord with me that something wasn't quite right, and I just needed to realign myself to who I really want to be and who I want to wake up, that version of me that wants to wake up and lose myself in service. And so yeah, I'm going to kind of make this content around some of the things that have happened over the last, say, 6 to 12 months. It all kind of really started with discovering Enneagrams. So I don't know if you know what Enneagrams are, but they're kind of like a personality type, but like on steroids. You know, I've been in the business world for many, many decades, and I've come across DISC this and Myers-Briggs that, and there's lots of kind of personality frameworks, but nothing hit my heart like the Enneagrams. I remember reading the report when I did the assessment, and I got like the report, and I just started crying. Like, I was like, for fuck's sake, for the first time, someone gets me. This piece of paper or this screen gets who I am and understands how I tick. And like, why has no one else been able to like understand me like this? And it really gave me the blueprint of like how I operate, like what's my operating system, and the fact that others have different ones, and how they, you know, you wouldn't expect a program on Microsoft Office to work on a Mac Apple computer. Like, it would be crazy, but yet we go through the world and expect everyone to do the world exactly like how you do it. And Enneagrams gave me this framework to really understand myself better, like know thyself energy. It gave me the blueprints to go, oh, this is how I tick, and no one can tell me otherwise. And they tick differently, and of course they're going to know their version and why it's comfortable for them. So there's 9 different types of Enneagrams, and it's really, really interesting. And that was kind of my first work that I did with Amy Bell, my mentor. And that just opened up this whole new world for me and for the others around me. And that was my first glimpse of a little bit more clarity. And then from Enneagrams, I then went and did the intro to NLP. Now, if you don't know what NLP is, it's neuro-linguistic programming, and it's kind of been, it's got sometimes bad raps because business, marketing, sales gurus caught onto it and realized that if we do certain techniques and you follow a certain script, it can be quite useful to get certain outcomes. But that's not the version that really resonated with me. And I knew of NLP for like, I worked it out, it was like 20 years. The first time I discovered NLP, I've even got books about NLP. I've watched YouTube videos about it. And so I'd been learning about NLP through osmosis and through self-discovery. But it wasn't until I met Amy that I really got this understanding of like, when you do embodiment learning and like you embody the lessons and the teachings and the thought processes and the feelings, it just landed differently. So I did the intro to NLP, which was a very like easy, no-brainer thing to do. It was just a weekend. It was $97. It was easy. It was almost too easy, but it was definitely the tripwire or the tipping point that I needed to then cascade this whole rediscovery of myself. And I'm really keen to just share it because I know that the world is going through a little bit of like changes, and there are a lot of people that I'm meeting that are struggling with like, what's next, what's coming, what's happening to the world. It feels like it's collapsing, and I kind of worry what I would be like if I didn't have all these other learnings with me, and like being in this space and having these people around me to support me. And you know, it's there's a level of vulnerability that just happens in this safe space. And I enjoyed going to these classes so much that I kind of called them my day spa. I was like, life feels so stressful at my work and, you know, life. And I would go into this, you know, sometimes it'll be like a 5-day chunk, you know, 5 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'd be like, this is my day spa. Like, I'm relaxed, I'm learning, I'm getting these new tools and techniques and frameworks and patterns. And it was just fabulous for me. It was really like the way that I learn. And that's why I said before that I really enjoy learning with like embodied, like immersive learning. And so, yeah, that's kind of what's been happening with me. I won't keep this video going for too much longer, but I just wanted to kind of like find my voice again. I feel like the last few years I've been off course. I haven't really felt compelled to create content. I paused my podcast. I just didn't feel like it was something coming from my heart or my soul talking about AI and digital. And, you know, I'm on a career pause at the moment. I don't know what's going to happen next. But one of the things that I'm really working hard with 2026 is to have less screen time and more green time, which is why I've relocated myself to force myself to be in nature, on property, on land, you know, do little projects, care for country, watch sunsets, wake up to sunrises, see the moon, the stars, and allow that to help guide me to like what that next chapter is. So yeah, I might wrap that up here because I feel like that's a lot. But yeah, just it's day one, and I wanted to like capture this energy as the sun sets on this Thursday evening. I'm actually going to class tomorrow for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, maybe I'll make some car videos. I liked doing those while I was driving, to capture some more thoughts. But yeah, weird energy. It was the first day today where like I woke up, didn't have to go to work, didn't need to clock on, didn't need to check Slack, didn't have to check the emails, didn't have to like check in with team, I didn't have to look at where things were and projects, like all that just kind of paused. And so it's day one, and so it feels really uneasy, and like I made myself busy. I went to the shops multiple times. I, you know, over planned what I was going to cook for dinner. Yeah, you know, I even wrote a like to-do list and crossed things off. It was like water garden, you know, check the chickens, like anyway. So that's kind of my new world at the moment. So I'm very grateful. So before it goes pitch black and you can't even see me, but I must admit the iPhone's doing a very good job at making me brighter, even though I can see that it's much darker right now. So on that note, yeah, you know, I think I want to bring my catchphrase back, which was, God, can I even remember it? Until next time, get outside, get your hands dirty, and keep digging deeper into the wonderful world of soil. That feels so good. All right, love you all. Take care. Bye.